live stream starts momentarily. But first, thanks to our wonderful sponsors. I don't know if you just saw the news, but average U.S. household debt just hit $152,000. That's mortgages, cars, cards, student loans. But the national debt just hit $37 trillion. It's all going up. Ask yourself this. When the system hiccups, who bails you out? It's not the Fed, not the politicians, and that's why I own gold. Gold doesn't need a CEO, doesn't need missed earnings. It doesn't freeze your account on a Friday at 4:59. While they print, gold just sits there doing what it's done for thousands of years. Store value. If you're done playing musical chairs with your savings, get something real in your hand. That's why you should try our good friends Kirk Elliott Precious Metals today. Goldwithjustin.com. Kirk and the team going to walk you through what they're doing, whether you're a seasoned pro when it comes to buying precious metals or you're just getting started. Call Kirk and the team today at 720-605-3900. That's 720-605-3900, or go to goldwithjustin.com to find out how they can help you today. No pressure, just facts and a plan. That's goldwithjustin.com. Protect what's yours with gold. Goldwithjustin.com. Do it today. When the grocery shelves go empty, you're out of time. That's the truth. Disasters hit fast. Storms, blackouts, supply chain chaos, and the first thing to vanish is food. That's why smart Americans, just like you, are stocking up now with My Patriot Supply. You can go to preparewithjustin.com right now to get a 3-month emergency food kit, and they'll even throw in a free 4-week food kit to boot. That's 4 whole months of meals ready to eat. No refrigeration needed, all with a 25-year shelf life. We're talking breakfast, lunches, dinners, over 2,000 calories a day to keep you strong when everything else shuts down. So don't wait until the crisis is here. Order today, and it ships fast and discreet. Go to preparewithjustin.com. That's preparewithjustin.com, because when the lights go out, the last thing you should be worrying about is feeding your family. Preparewithjustin.com. It's here, the grand reopening of the merch store, justinbarclay.com/store. We've got brand new tees, hoodies, and gear in fresh designs, colors, and sizes, even some for the kids. You're going to find favorites like the FAFO, Fool Around, Find Out shirt, the Gulf of America tees, sweats, and more. And alligator Alcatraz designs are ready to wear and ready to make a statement.
Conversation now at 616-774-2424. That's 616-774-2424. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on Wood Radio.
Strap in, folks. It's going to be one of those days. The weather is cooperating, too. Man, oh, man, what a gorgeous fall day. I see it now. Sunshine, high of 64. Before the rain comes in over the weekend, and we probably need a little rain, so we'll take some of that. Details about stories. Speaking of the weather, whether you want it or not, we're going to give you the good news, the stories, the truth, logic, and common sense you won't hear anywhere else.
News, weather, and traffic. And the biggest stories of the day. We're talking about what matters most in West Michigan and beyond. This is the Big Three. Now today's Big Three.
Yeah, like I said, these are some big ones today. In fact, some straight out of Michigan I think you're going to want to hear. A couple of decent ones, a shutdown or shakedown, depending upon who you ask. Continues. Those stories and more powered by our good friends at Heartland Home Mortgage. Whether you want to buy, refi, home equity, line of credit, they've helped us each and every time. Working with them faster, quicker, better than the big banks. Heartland Home Mortgage. Reach out to Dave Galloway and the team today.
Number 1.
That's right. It's no bueno. County clerks unanimously opposing this new ranked choice voting scam that's being pushed out there. I don't know if you've heard this. It's very confusing, and that's one of the criticisms of it. Plus, I believe it adds not just to the confusion, but to the susceptibility of shenanigans. Probably the best way to put it. It's inconsistent, they go on to say, and it'll cause voter fatigue. I mean, if people don't understand it and they don't trust it, they're just not going to come out and be a part of it. 65% of Michigan voters oppose the ranked choice scam, including a majority of every demographic, and the county clerks across the state uniting against the push and, of course, saying it's just no good. They're voting unanimously to oppose the proposal, citing those same concerns we just mentioned, saying that ranked choice voting could make elections more complex and not more fair, could undermine confidence in the process. By the way, if you want a look into how this is working already at places like Alaska that do this, I don't think they love it there. Another big story for you we're keeping an eye on today. Well, another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one. Well, Whitmer's battery plants just keep dying. They can't keep a charge. The EV battery plants, one by one, another one has bailed. Despite taxpayer funding, another flop from Whitmer here in Michigan. Global mining giant Fortescue has pulled the plug on its $210 million electric vehicle battery plant in Detroit, despite receiving $23 million in state incentives. The company's saying it's reassessing its U.S. manufacturing strategy and will look elsewhere. Critics call it yet another example of Whitmer's taxpayer-funded green promises going up in smoke. And yes, you know, when you don't give subsidies for this stuff, it's amazing what happens. Just imagine that. It all just sort of falls by the wayside.
Number 3.
And the juice drains out of it. Well, this is good news. Trump's tariffs are working. I don't know if you heard this announcement earlier, but Stellantis says it will invest $13 billion in the U.S., proving again Trump tariffs making an impact, the largest in the company's history. This $13 billion aimed at expanding domestic production by 50%, creating more than 5,000 new jobs. Some of those in Michigan, not all of them. Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana, where the footprint is held by Stellantis. But it is a big piece of news, and one I'm sure you'd want to hear about. Matter of fact, we'll talk about that and that Trump tariff effect coming up with our good friend James Dixon. 9:35 this morning. Stand by for the latest.
Call Justin now at 616-774-2424. That's 616-774-2424. West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Great way to join the program. You can also use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app from MK Day Funeral Homes. It's a little microphone button right next to the play button. You smash that thing down and let it rip. Now, I coined this new term just yesterday, by the way. This is one I thought you would like. It's no longer the Schumer shutdown. The Schumer shutdown has transformed. It is it's moved to the Schumer shakedown. Why do I say that? Well, I played yesterday. This was quite fascinating. We talked on the after show. By the way, if you never listened to the after show, not familiar with it, it's real simple. It's a show that takes place right after this show. That's why we call it the after show. You know, the minds, the creative minds, the juice is flowing here at West Michigan Live and One Radio. So it's the show after the show. Now we not only do we podcast it on the iHeartRadio app, but we stream it as well. And I thought it was really interesting yesterday when I got a chance to play this in the reaction, because you know what we do? A lot of times we just don't have time to get through it in the fastest hour in radio that you're witnessing as we speak right now. So I ought to be a little more, maybe I'll be a little more frugal with my words and just get right into it. This is a list. Speaker Johnson railed through, a number of things that the Democrats want. They're trying to hold you hostage. In fact, when you hear, well, the Republicans, they just ought to get together and work this out. It's not true. When you look at what Schumer's trying to do, it's no longer just a shutdown. It's a shakedown. And you hear some of this crazy stuff about, they don't want health care. And it's just all of it's phony baloney. It's a bunch of bunk.
And they would send $500 million to liberal news outlets by refunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
This is the Democrats' plan. All this stuff they just went through, cutting out of the one big beautiful bill. They want to put this stuff back in.
It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on the CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe.
Civic engagement in Zimbabwe, climate endurance in Honduras. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans.
Which that's one thing you and I, we've talked quite often about, and an extensive. It's what we can do about the LGBTQI, whatever it is, over in the Balkans, folks. I mean, it keeps me up at night. I don't know about you. What are we going to do?
They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa.
No.
And $2 million.
Desert locust. We really got to reduce that risk over there in the Horn of Africa, folks.
For, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's organize for feminist democratic principles as we're doing the locust. Do it.
We are not doing that.
No.
And they would say.
Thank you. Speaker of the House there, Mike Johnson, says, in probably the best way he could, we're not doing that. These are the things that they're pushing, and these are the things you're not hearing. Is there maybe a clip here or a clip there? You're hearing, whatever, Today's Show, the nightly news, MSDNC, CNN wants to push on you. You don't hear what really is going on in the background, which... Again, I think we got to stop calling it the Schumer shutdown even. It is. He owns it. But I think it's time to start calling it what it is, folks. The Schumer shakedown.
Informative, engaging. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barclay on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9.
I'm Robin Hoffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story. Governor Whitmer celebrates free school lunches at Flint Elementary, where only 12% of students can read. In other news, Michigan Senate Democrats blocking a resolution from Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt that would have honored conservative Charlie Kirk and condemned all forms of political violence. The move came on the National Day of Remembrance for Kirk, who was assassinated last month in Utah.
I think we'll get it done.
And fresh off his Middle East peace plan, President Trump turns his attention to Russia's war in Ukraine. Trump's scheduled to host Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House and says he feels confident that he could bring an end to this war, too.
I think that President Putin, I think, is going to I think he wants to get it done. We'll see.
For these stories and more, visit The Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
Run it on empty? Mentality Health can help. Low testosterone might be the reason you're tired, gaining belly fat, or feeling irritable, unfocused, and disconnected. At Mentality, board-certified doctors run a full exam and blood panel on your first visit and offer tailored treatment, including FDA-approved therapy with semaglutide to cut fat while protecting muscle. The results? You'll be the dad, the husband, the man you were born to be. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio to schedule your first visit today. mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Save big money on your back.
All right, welcome in, folks. The Freedom Fam VIPs behind the scenes hanging out this morning. Let's check in who we got. But everything looks different, what I'm looking at today. They've completely changed the software that streams. Hopefully, everything works. There's no issues. Glitter, good to see you, Mando Mark. Panda, appreciate you. Thank you so much from Cook Garden So. Always fun to see you. And we got to get you in here soon. Are you ready to come up and enjoy? Cook Garden So won one of the it might be one of the best or the worst prizes you could win of all time. not too long ago. She won a chance to sit in and watch the chaos here during one of the shows. So maybe even tomorrow. You never know. You never know. Let me know. And, of course, like I said, we'll get you in here. Over on Rumble. Appreciate the Rumblers, man. Good to see you, Trish, Jen, Tree Frog, Jay Zalzman. Good to see you. Good lady. Sneebor, Happy Hunter, BKWV. We have a few hunters missing today, by the way. The actual hunters. Well, not just the happy ones, but some of these folks are in. They're out in the woods as we speak today. Buddy, good to see you over on the book. Jason, thank you. Carmen as well. Cindy, Tammy, and Mike, so many others. Don't forget to click share today if you haven't done it already. It really helps us get the word out. Spread the good news. We're being throttled is probably the best way to put it. Kevin, good to see you, man. We got to get you on the show, too. Let's make that happen. Let's make it happen. We'll send you a message maybe Monday or so. Let's get that worked out. All right, folks, back on the air. Stand by. We're getting right back into it. Love to hear from you. If you want to jump in on the conversation, you can. Here we go.
Agree with the last caller. We got to be done with that guy.
Join the millions who are already doing it. Open the free iHeartRadio app now. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Set Wood Radio is a preset now on our iHeartRadio app. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com.
That's autolaw.com.
Back after it, and you can join the program at any time. Thanks to the Good Feed store during the month of October. Not only are they helping you get back on track, you know how I feel about them. Foot pain, back pain, leg pain, they feel better each and every day. But they're doing something great for folks, and it really is a fantastic cause. In fact, it's a breast thing. That's the name of the organization that helps deliver to folks here in Grand Rapids that are in need, and, of course, going through some of that breast cancer treatment right now, and they're helping portions of the proceeds from everything during the month of October, and 100% of the revenue from every pink OS First sock they sell in October going directly to those folks at the Good Feed store, 28th Street, right in front of Costco, or on Westnedge in Portage in front of Cole. Stop out and see them today. They'll help you get to where you need to go, and trust me when I tell you, because I feel it every single day. Speaking of feeling it, they're in panic. Democrats worsening panic among them as we speak after it sinks in just how many Republican House seats they might lose. In fact, Republicans picking them up through redistricting in 2026. They could lose 19 seats. Florida could be a gold mine. And by the way, don't take my word for it. This is CNN.
actually represents pretty accurately, mathematically, how the country is divided over the question of the presidency. But if you look at this is what the party pickups would be for congressional districts. Republicans, 5. Missouri, 1. North Carolina, 1. Ohio, 2 or 3. Indiana, 1 or 2. Florida, still discussion down there, but that could be another gold mine for them if they tipped it even further their way. Kansas, 1. New Hampshire, 1. And Nebraska. Democrats, Utah, California, Maryland. Look at this. If you offset California and Texas, Missouri and Utah, North Carolina and Maryland, everything left over is an advantage to the Republicans. And don't forget, the Supreme Court is considering what could really be the end of the Voting Rights Act, which would protect minority groups. So you don't have a state that's half black, for example, that elects only one congressional member and everybody else goes to the Republicans that would represent that population in some ways. So if that is gutted, Democrats could lose 19 seats. This would be a huge amount. But this is also a measure of how much the White House is concerned about this, because Donald Trump knows if the Democrats get the House again, there could be new investigations just like last time. There could be a new impeachment. There could be a lot of impediments.
Oh, don't doubt it. Everything's out the door if Democrats try to get control again. That's why it's crucial. You can't let that happen. Can you imagine? I mean, they won't even, this guy that's running attorney general in Virginia, they won't even come out and condemn his comments about calling for opponents to be killed and their children as well because they're all fascists. The guy wants to be the attorney general, the top cop in the state of Virginia. And they won't come out and condemn it? You imagine what happens if they get back in control. Yeah.
These plans that right now the Republicans in the House and Senate are letting run like a freight train.
Good. It's time to be on offense. We ought to, but we understand what is at stake, and again, never let up off the gas. It's more important than ever before. You cannot let even give up a single inch on any of this nonsense. Not even a single inch. By the way, I told you to Trump tariff, they're working. The Trump tariffs are working. We're going to talk with James Dixon coming up in a little bit, 9:35, about this. President Trump says, because they're going to push this tariff case through the Supreme Court. He says, you know what, I may even go to hear the oral arguments to the Supreme Court when they do this case.
Disaster for America. That's why I think I'm going to go to the Supreme Court to watch it. I've not done that, and I had some pretty big cases. I think it's one of the most important cases ever brought, because we will be defenseless against the world. Okay?
Lots back and forth yesterday when he answered questions. I believe this was in the Oval. I got a couple of clips I want to play. One of the things that you keep hearing about are these drug boats from Venezuela that keep getting knocked down. We had conversations about it yesterday on the after show as well. But this is another one I think you ought to be paying attention to. And here's some numbers behind them, by the way. These are drug boats, fentanyl, and some of the other stuff, bad stuff coming from places like Venezuela, drug members on board, cartel members. And so this is a defensive move, but again, it's offensive defense, and I love that because that's exactly what we got to do. Never let off the gas. In a situation like this, there's a lot of people that argue, well, we can't. They want to pretend it's like your grandmother. Your grandmother's out for a smooth boat ride through the Gulf of America or wherever, coming from Venezuela into the country. There's nothing on board. It's just your grandmother, and she's coming. No, these are bad hombres, as he said. And these are staggering stats. Listen to this, because if every one of us knows somebody that's died from fentanyl, opioid overdose, or whatever it might be. Think about hundreds of thousands of people taken out needlessly because of this. This is an actual war. You think about what's going on. Look at what he's doing. And nobody's ever been willing to do it before. He says never enough. Listen to how many people die every boatload these lives are saved.
Exactly. But we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control. We've had a couple of days where there isn't a boat to be found. And that, I view that as a good thing, a bad thing. But we had tremendous amounts coming in by boats, by very expensive boats. They have a lot of money, very fast, very expensive boats that were pretty big. And the way you look at it is every boat that we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
Wow.
So every time you see a boat and you feel badly, you say, wow, that's rough. it is rough, but if you lose 3 people and save 25,000 people, these are people that are killing our population.
He's right.
Every boat is saving 25,000 lives, and you can see it. The boats get hit, and you see that fentanyl all over the ocean. It's like floating in bags. It's all over the place, and it's a tremendous. We're saving tremendous amounts of lives.
I, for one, am all for it. Also up for a check of the news. We'll do that when we come back out of our bottom of the hour, and James Dixon joins us next. Hang on, folks.
Asking the tough questions. It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barkley on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Right now.
Jelly Roll! Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
All right, folks, rolling right along. Appreciate you being here with us today. Of course, never a dull moment. The news never stops, and neither do we. That's why we're grateful that you're here with us today. Got to thank our sponsors, the folks keeping us afloat, keeping us on the air, and the support today.
Winter is just around the corner in West Michigan. Is your roof ready? The freezing temps, snow, and ice can take a toll on your roof, especially on dry, aging shingles. Don't wait until it's too late and you're stuck with leaks or costly damage. At RoofMax of Ada, they can extend the life of your roof with their all-natural treatment that restores flexibility and waterproofing to your shingles. It's safe, affordable, and at a fraction of the cost of replacement. Right now is the perfect time to schedule your free roof inspection before winter hits. Their schedule is filling up quickly, so call RoofMax of Ada today at 616-393-7710. That's 616-393-7710. Or visit their website, roofsaversmi.com, to schedule your free roof inspection today. Protect your home, protect your wallet, and give your roof the care it needs to make it through the harsh winter season. Call now, 616-393-7710 or roofsaversmi.com.
Now, the latest news from West Michigan and beyond. News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Check our headlines here.
Good morning, 9:30, 47 on the Lakeshore, 45 in Grand Rapids. I'm Dave Wheaton. This is Wood Radio News. The CIA is getting involved in U.S. military operations in Venezuela. Fox's Kevin Cork with the story. A new Catholic school scholarship for kids in Grand Rapids called the Catholic Promise. Dan and...
All right. I think we're going to transition here. How about this one? Over 60% of Michigan's third graders are not reading at grade level, and we rank 44th nationally for fourth grade reading proficiency. Our children are our future, and kids who can't read are being robbed of the same dreams and opportunities we once had. Seems like we should be involving parents more, not less. That's Michael Markey. He's running for state senate to put Michigan family first, he said. Father, entrepreneur. Michael Markey is no stranger to the show. He's been on before. That's in response to the story we had yesterday. And the good news, I don't know if you heard this or not. Michigan parents, moms, dads stood up, fought back, and teachers, too, against the Board of Education and this new move where they're wanting to cut parents out and go even more radical in some of their sex ed and, of course, indoctrination, some of the stuff that they want to do. It is, well, I will tell you, it's very encouraging to see those parents get involved and be a part of that process. You know, lots of good things are happening. That's one of them. Just one of them. Out of all the news that we've got, man, oh man. Hey, thank you so much for being here with us. If you haven't already, click share today. Click share on the broadcast. Help us get the word out, and that way we can make sure that you can hit the truth, logic, and common sense everywhere. Big announcement from, and this may be a tech talk subject, by the way. Big announcement from Glenn Beck at a Turning Point event on the 9th. Something that he's been developing quietly behind the scenes. Heard the rumblings about this. It's called George AI.
And I want to show you just a quick clip of George AI.
May the grace of God be upon us all, now and forevermore.
They have no right to tax us like this. They're robbing our freedom.
Soldiers, listen to me now. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph.
So which part of it do you want to hear about?
That's incredible.
Next year, you are going to be able to have, beginning next year, you're going to be able to have a one-on-one conversation with the founders in your language, speaking the way you speak. What George AI is, there's two parts of it. One will take you through all of the artifacts, so you know exactly. You want to do a paper on life, pro-life, abortion. Did the founders ever talk about that? Yes, they did. But you won't know how to find that. But we have now put it into its own self-contained system with virtual electric fence around it, so it cannot distort. It must remember all of it. The problem with AI, the reason why it hallucinates, is it can only remember so much. So it takes the beginning of a story, the end of the story, and it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it kind of happened this way. We have to have it memorize word for word. So now you'll be able to take any document, anything from the founders. You can translate it into any language. You can say, I need it to explain this to an 8-year-old. And it is absolutely accurate. In 2026, I'm going to be introducing something that we're working on that goes a step beyond that.
Very cool. Can't wait to dig into that, by the way. Coming up, maybe a Tech Talk Tuesday with us. Hey, got to jump back on the air. Appreciate you being here with us. Stand by, folks. We got about 15 seconds, and then we're back in.
Or check us out online at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Hey, it's Glenn Beck, and you're listening to West Michigan Live with our good friend, Justin Barclay. The Glenn Beck program coming up at 10 on Wood Radio.
Back after it. Love that you're here with us today and every day. The fastest hour on radio flying by. Yes. Truth, logic, and common sense. Thank you for being here with us. And thanks to the folks at ProTech helping power. By the way, they saved my bacon the other day. ProTech Heating and Cooling. I was out of town, and of course, that was the best time for the air conditioner and the furnace both to go on the fritz, both of them out at the same time. Look, they can help you no matter what, and maybe make sure that you don't have any surprises like I did. Avoid all of that and get your furnace looked at. Now's the time to do it. ProtectGR.com to find out more. That's ProtectGR.com, and of course, they love to come out. Lisa and the team are so knowledgeable. They're some of the best folks out there, and they are going to shoot you straight. 616-303-7436 if you want to find out more. So Trump's tariffs are working. That's undeniable at this point, especially when you're looking at some of the stories that we've been peeling back over the last couple of days. And Stellantis with the latest, a landmark $13 billion investment plan back into the United States over the next 4 years. It's a ton of dough, and you know what? We heard the Chicken Littles of the world, the sky is falling, all of this over the last several months. They're awfully quiet now. But James Dixon is not. He joins us now, down I-75 over on Twitter X. James, appreciate you being here with us today. How are you?
Real good. Good to hear your voice, Justin.
You too, as always. This is funny because silence speaks volumes. It was deafening the other day when we heard all these people have been out protesting, all these people have been hitting the streets, all these people, keyboard warriors on social media talking about free Palestine, and then Trump does. There's a peace deal, and boy, it's like, I don't know about you, but I must have missed it. It was crickets. I didn't see any celebrations out there on the streets. This is the very same thing. We heard Chicken Little, the sky is falling. We heard this is going to just destroy America, these tariffs, and boy, it certainly seems to me like the opposite is happening right now.
You know, Justin, I see kind of these two visions that are competing right now. So you have the Trump model of economic development, which is we're not going to give you bags of cash, but we'll create conditions that make companies want to invest in America, such as tariffs that make it more expensive to do business outside of America and send your goods back. Then you have the Gretchen Whitmer model, which is we're going to give companies big bags of cash as long as Gretchen Whitmer's name winds up in the headline. And what we've seen, especially in this second term, is the Trump vision is winning. It brings Chrysler. Stellantis is the new Chrysler for those who remember the big 3 days. Stellantis has its biggest investment in its history in America just since January 20th, this $13 billion. Meanwhile, Gretchen Whitmer in the budget that just passed, she included no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. So Gretchen Whitmer, to find success, is acting more like Donald Trump. And the projects that she's invested and spent our money on have underdelivered or not delivered at all.
Isn't that something? Well, you know, and I find this, too, to be quite interesting at the same time, juxtaposed here. 2 out of the 3 stories in our big 3 today, one was Trump's tariffs working, Stellantis' big $13 billion investment. The other is the latest EV battery flop in this company that's gone belly up, so to speak, I guess, here. And then she's all inside of this one. This is the Fortescue in Detroit, the global mining giant, pulling the plug on the $210 million electric vehicle battery plant in Detroit, despite receiving $23 million in state incentives. And to your point, 2 different ways of doing business, and this one didn't seem like it worked very well.
You know, it never does, Justin, because when you give incentives, not only are you picking winners and losers, right? But in so doing, you're masking for a bad business environment. And so if the business environment in Michigan is so bad that Ford and GM and Chrysler need to be given money by the state of Michigan to do business in Michigan, if they need that much help, how much help must mom and pop need if they're small business? And they're not getting because they're not big enough. So they essentially, these politicians are very generous with our money. They paint it as investments, even though Michigan doesn't come to own anything. The whole thing is about getting politicians' names and headlines, not men back working.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And one of the folks in the chat was very astute to notice this as well. Said, you know, seems like this might be a new business plan. Like the new model is start a business, get taxpayer dollars, close that business, repeat. That's the old way of doing things under Gretchen Whitmer. Trump says he's going to do things differently, and we've seen the results have been quite staggering.
I think that was the plot of The Producers, right? Where the only way you lose money is if the play was a success. The plan was for it to be a flop. And so, you know, and this guy, I mean, there was another one of these electric vehicle projects where the state of Michigan, Michigan Capital Confidential had this story, the Mackinac Center. The state of Michigan gave the same guy money on 2 different projects, and they both failed. One was Granholm, one was Whitmer. And you just have to ask both the media that covers it and the politicians who approve these gifts, what have we learned?
James Dixon with us, down I-75 over on Twitter X. I got a couple of questions about a few other things out there today. I want to get your take on some things I know that you're looking at that's on your radar. But first, let me ask you, I think this is kind of interesting. AOC and Bernie were on a bit of, I guess this is a town hall forum type thing that they were doing over on CNN. And although this is kind of interesting, there are a few highlights, maybe we'll call them lowlights today, This one is from AOC. First of all, you got to wonder why they were doing that, what the point of all that was. And then secondly, here she is.
Rivers in rural areas were on fire because of corporations poisoning the people who lived in those areas.
Now, she's saying rural areas were on fire because of corporations poisoning the people who lived in those areas. Now, I'm old enough to remember East Palestine in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
So that was under the Biden administration. I'm not sure what she's talking about. But then she digs that hole a little bit deeper on those fires.
Poor middle-class communities getting poisoned and dumped on by corporations like Deloitte and 3M, pouring chemicals into these places. And
now, I don't know who she's talking about, but Deloitte is an accounting firm.
Right.
This is the best of the best.
They know the media is not going to call this stuff out.
James, this is the best of the best. They've put these two people up on pedestals on CNN. And this one says that an accounting firm, rural areas are on fire because an accounting firm is pouring chemicals into the... What?
I wonder if AOC is trying to rebrand as a Republican. She sounds like the chemtrails people on my timeline. I can hardly escape them. There are people who actively believe. My problem with the chemtrails thing is the people who are doing it are poisoning themselves, too. Like, there's no such thing as your air or my air. It's all our air. I just don't see benefits. It never made sense to me. But, yeah, if she's trying to sound like chemtrails truther, that just shows conservative ideas, even the crazy ones, really are winning out.
I don't think she has any strategy at all, to be honest with you. I think that mouth is just open, and who knows what fell out. The brain fell out long ago, so I don't know. What else is on your radar, by the way? What are you paying attention to, and what can we look forward to in the days ahead, James?
Absolutely. Justin, on the Something Else podcast, it's going to be probably released this weekend. I take a look at the 1965 immigration reform law. It's actually a Michigan senator, Phil Hart, who was part of that, and LBJ signed it. This law played a big part in the making of modern. And so I'm going to look at how America became a nation of strangers. A nation of strangers is how LBJ described it when he signed it. So what the America we see, the Dearborn we see, these things were all done systematically. They did not just happen organically. And we're going to explain exactly how on Mr. Christian Politics.
It's called Something Else with James Dixon. Down I-75 over on Twitter X is where you can find him. Where else can people keep up to date with you?
Yeah, we got the Sunday School in 60 Seconds. That's a podcast where basically it's just a quick Bible message every week, just very brief.
I like that.
Because I know we all have busy lives. And so I try to give the word in bite-sized nuggets the way we learned it in Sunday school.
I love it. James Dixon, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being in the fight.
Hey, thank you, Justin. Appreciate you.
You got it, my friend. God bless. Back in moments, folks. You stick right with us. We got more that we're just barely scratching the surface here on the fastest hour on radio. Don't go anywhere. Speaking of things you missed last night, more of the town hall from AOC and Bernie. Maybe you're happy you missed that. But they kept that Mom Donnie clown over on Fox News yesterday, too, and you won't believe what he had to say. Let's see if we can dig into some of that and more. Coming up after this, it's West Michigan Live on Wood Radio.
Make your smart speaker smarter. Stream us.
Okay, getting smarter now.
It's West Michigan Live with Justin Barkley on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Here are your headlines from the Midwesterner this Tuesday, October 16th. I'm Robin Poffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story. Michigan Senate Democrats just can't seem to do the right thing. A group blocking a resolution from Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt that would have honored Turning Point USA founder conservative Charlie Kirk. The resolution would have also condemned all forms of political violence. Democrat Governor Whitmer in Flint this week to celebrate free meals for students included in the state's education budget. This happening at a school where the vast majority of students can't read.
And all we want from President Putin is stop this. Stop killing Ukrainians, and stop killing Russians, because he's killing a lot of Russians.
And fresh off his Middle East peace plan, President Trump turns his attention to ending Russia's war in Ukraine.
I think we'll get it done. I think that President Putin, I think he wants to get it done. We'll see.
For these stories and more, visit The Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
Running on empty? Mentality Health can help. Low testosterone might be the reason you're tired, gaining belly fat, or feeling irritable, unfocused, and disconnected. At Mentality, board-certified doctors run a full exam and blood panel on your first visit and offer tailored treatment, including FDA-approved therapy with semaglutide to cut fat while protecting muscle. The results? You'll be the dad, the husband, the man you were born to be. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio to schedule your first visit today. mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? Call 844-731-SAFE.
All right, folks, welcome in. If you're just tuning in, this is behind-the-scenes live stream. We're watching Facebook, Twitter, X, Rumble, Getter, Locals, YouTube, you name it. We appreciate you and the folks in the VIP as well. Let's get... Did James just laugh at people that believe in chemtrails? I think, I think if James, sometimes... You got to welcome people, even if it's somebody that doesn't believe how you believe. Well, I know chemtrails. I've seen weather modification. We know that's a thing. I guess the question is, what does he believe is happening with the chemtrails? Because there's lots of things that are done that we ought to take a look at that people are doing that he says, if you think about it, are affecting each other. So don't throw everybody out with, I know you wouldn't, but I'm just saying, don't throw everybody out with the bathwater. Anyway, yeah. Let me see if I can have this weirdo. Let me get rid of this guy. Righty then. I had something else for you, too, I wanted to play. Oh, again, Senator Fetterman, and look for the Democrats to try and get rid of him. The only Democrat making any sense these days.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence.
Stand by.
Autolaw.com.
Senator Fetterman, the only Democrat making any sense these days. I got audio to play from him coming back. I just was playing some of the behind-the-scenes live stream. In just a moment, I want to see if I can get to that for you, too. I want you to be able to hear what he's saying, and a couple other things. I'll pull the curtain back on here in just a moment. But first, let's take a look. We know Marx has been kind of up and down roller coaster ride the last couple of days. Up again today, though. Got some green. Stock rise boosted by the AI trade and solid earnings, according to CNBC this morning. No matter what is happening with the markets, it's your daily reminder. Look, it's time to make sure that you're on track. Whether you want to retire today, tomorrow, 10, 20 years down the road, and the folks at Talent Wealth, Mike Lester and the team can help to get to where you want to go, no matter where it is and how fast, when. That's the thing about the folks at Talent Wealth. They have personalized, customized strategies for each and every individual. They take a holistic approach to help you guard your nest egg. Matter of fact, you'll find out more when you go to guardingyournestegg.com or call Mike and the team today at 616-661-1000. That's 616-661-1000 or online at guardingyournestegg.com. Here's Fetterman making sense again. I believe it's on News Nation. They did a Kennedy Center forum with him.
I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump. But they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution and those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that Pasek assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, you know, he's a father that had his neck blown out by a bullet. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, was shot in the head. Yeah. And if that would have, could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government, I just can't take it that.
By the way, I apologize for the scratchiness in the audio. What you're hearing is his beard because the microphone is clipped to his hoodie. So what you're hearing is this scratching around. But despite all of that, you also hear him making a lot of sense and cutting through the noise, which is incredible. Speaking of making sense, cutting through the noise, you've probably seen them. And now you've probably heard about some of these airports. Metro Detroit fighting back with some signs. They don't want to play the TSA video. There's a video that they are refusing to play. One of the news sites I saw actually said, this is a very disturbing video, and people are calling it disturbing. And the people in the comments, one of the guys, jumping in, I found it very disturbing. I just thought it was disturbing. The Wayne County Airport Authority does not engage in partisan politics. TSA-controlled video does not represent the views. They won't even play it here in Grand Rapids, which is kind of interesting. What is the video? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a video of Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, saying this. I don't know if you find this disturbing enough, but it's would have been most interestingly absent from the whole conversation of the actual video.
Hi, I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. It is TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience as possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted.
She's right, though. There's nothing that's false about any of this.
And most of our TSA employees are working without pay. We will continue to do all that we can to avoid delays that will impact your travel. And our hope is that Democrats will soon recognize the importance of opening the government.
That's it, folks. That's the disturbing video. That's the video they won't play in Grand Rapids. That's the video in Detroit they're putting signs up about right now. And that's the one they won't tell you about when they run the story on it. They actually won't even show you the video at all. Isn't that something? Oh, I wonder why. I wonder what that could possibly be. Gosh, we have so much more to cover. Each and every day, this fastest hour in radio just flies right on by. We do our best to make sure that you get it all covered. Of course, the truth, logic, common sense. And by the way, if you miss a moment, you can listen live or archived on the iHeartRadio app. We put our podcast up each and every day, so you can not only hear this show, but the after show. Or listen live at justinbarclay.com. By the way, all the stories we talk about, the videos, the things that we share, you may want to share with other people. You can get access to those in the stack when you go to justinbarclay.com. Do it today. I recommend it. Of course, we appreciate you being here as always. Wishing you the best. God bless.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
WOOD Grand Rapids, WOOD FM Muskegon. The news is next on Wood Radio.
Winter is just around the corner in West Michigan. Is your roof ready? The freezing temps, snow, and ice can take a toll on your roof, especially on dry aging shingles. Don't wait until it's too late and you're stuck with leaks or costly damage. At Roof Max of Ada, they can extend the life of your roof with their all-natural treatment that restores flexibility and waterproofing to your shingles. It's safe, affordable, and at a fraction of the cost of replacement. Right now is the perfect time to schedule your free roof inspection before winter hits. Their schedule is filling up quickly, so call Roof Max of Ada today at 616-393-7710. That's 616-393-7710. Or visit their website, roofsaversmi.com, to schedule your free roof inspection today. Protect your home, protect your wallet, and give your roof the care it needs to make it through the harsh winter season. Call now, 616-393-7710 or roofsaversmi.com.
All right, folks, here we go. Let's get things. Get ready to strap in. It's going to be a heck of a ride. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Never a dull moment, but yes, you'll hear the stories you won't hear anywhere else, and we appreciate you being here with us for them today. I'm Justin Barclay. Welcome in, folks. Rocking and rolling. This is the show after the show. That's why we call it the after show. Never a dull moment, never enough time. Get to it all, and we do our best. We make sure that you are fully informed. We appreciate you being here with us for it. All right, let's dig in. What is happening today and the stories that we didn't get a chance to scratch, just barely scratching the surface on. Got a few of them. Got Mom Donnie on Fox News last night. Got a little bit more. We can laugh at AOC and Bernie. There's some seriousness in some of these as well. We'll run through some of those, and then a little bit from Tom Homan. Haven't heard from him in a while. You may want to hear about what he's talking about. We'll get into all of that and more coming up in just moments, folks. Here we go. Let's get into it. By the way, first of all, let us thank the good friends at ProTech Heating and Cooling, powering the podcast all through the month of October. ProtechGR.com, or you can call today at 616-303-7436. Making some great things happen. We appreciate those folks. And man, oh man, they saved me once or twice. I know they can save you too. And maybe even before you need saving, especially right now, if you reach out, if you're a DTE Energy customer, you may be eligible for a free furnace tune-up or a discounted boiler tune-up. Contact the folks at ProTech today. See if you're eligible. ProTech offering a free humidifier or Remy Halo air purifier with any furnace and air conditioner installation for the month of October. ProtechGR.com. Reach out and tell them thank you for supporting this program. We really do. We really do appreciate it. All right, so I got Mom Donnie. I've got a couple other things. You know, this is interesting. I love this story. Jack Smith, remember the guy that came after Trump, special prosecutor? He's in the fire lines again here. Jim Jordan saying Jack Smith ought to testify in Congress. This is somebody that ought to have to come and testify in Congress and let us know. We want to know the ins and outs. We want to ask all the questions. We want the answers. Now, the other thing is he's going to be susceptible to lying in the Congress, and, of course, that charge, which we've already seen. Some of these folks, Comey, well, he sort of was susceptible to that too, wasn't he? That is a piece that I think you have to keep in mind. in part of this project. I just bring it up because I think you need to know about it. They are discussing it. All of these people, and by the way, we don't get justice until they've all come to justice. Each and every one of these folks needs to be hauled in. They need to be investigated, and they need that more than anything else. They need to see jail time. There's still real accountability. They're going to continue to do this over and over and over again. You and I know this. We both understand it. We know how it works. They need full and real accountability. Speaking of which, how about the shutdown right now? Fetterman making more sense. We played some of that for you earlier today. How much sense was he making? Take a listen to him last night with News Nation. Bill O'Reilly sitting right next to him at the Kennedy Center.
That's why shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party. And it's the wrong thing for the country in a period of chaos. I refuse to vote to shut our government down.
He's been going along with these votes to keep the government open. They don't have enough Democrats so far yet. I think that changes after the No Kings March to see how much progress they get made there. How much it's one of the things that is craziest to me, but I don't know about you. Have you seen these promotions that are happening on news sites all over Facebook and everywhere else? I mean, I'm getting throttled. Thank you for sharing this broadcast out today, by the way. But I'm getting throttled right and left. Things that I'm posting. I mean, just the last week or the week before, we'd share things and they'd get shared thousands of times. We're lucky if it gets 50 right now, which is crazy to me. You got a page of almost 100,000 people, essentially. They're not, that's Facebook alone. And they're not sharing. It's just nutty when you watch what you watch happening. Of course, I don't have to tell you. You understand how all of this works. But at like I said, at the same time, we're watching it play out right in front of our very eyes as we speak. And there's some news stations out there that see massive reach in what they post and whatnot, because they've never been, because somehow they got whitelisted. They've never been canceled. They've never been edited. They've never been throttled. They've never been censored, and yet we are. But they're posting things like, the No Kings protest coming up this Saturday, giving like the address of where it's going to be and telling people to come out and be a part of it. It's like, is this promotion or is this supposed to be a news story? To me, it's not a news story until the thing has already happened. Why would you're promoting it? When Trump would have a rally, would they be doing stories like Trump's having a rally, come on out this Saturday? No, they never did that. If anything, they said, well, it's going to the traffic's going to be bad here. Or this might be shut down. Look out for Trump. It's just nuts. So the key here is, but I digress. So the key is here that we're hearing some of this shutdown stuff is going to get moved around, and maybe after this weekend, we'll see. We'll see some real movement. Hopefully, that's the case.
I absolutely would love to have. I would love to have a conversation about extending the tax credits for health care. Absolutely. But I would remind everybody, too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken by the Republicans. They were designed to expire. That's why shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party.
I love that. I follow country, then party. Fetterman making so much. So now some of you say, well, I don't know if I trust Fetterman, all of this. I get it. Trust him as far as you can throw him, sort of a thing. That's very, I think, trust but verify is the other way to put that with Reagan back in the day. That's a very good point. Fetterman maybe trying to appear more reasonable and more conservative because he's in that area and doesn't want to lose. I don't know. That's a possibility. Why doesn't he just switch parties? I don't think you'll ever see him do that. Well, never say never. But lot of this stuff is strategic. A lot of the stuff you see behind the scenes, how they poll and they work things out and try and figure out the best way to go. However, I don't know that he's capable of that, and it really does seem authentic. Now, maybe he's just blowing smoke. I don't know, and pulling the wool over all of our eyes. But I thought that was interesting.
Do you think Harris could have gotten a deal with Hamas?
Well, I mean, you brought up a good point. I think I was the only Democrat early on to give President Trump credit for the peace deal. Why wouldn't you?
Do you think Harris could have gotten it?
Well, again, I don't know. She's not the president. But where I'm at right now, it's like, ask any of the hostages or their families. They think President Trump was a hero and he deserves, the kind of deal for that thing. I think that was really a remarkable development.
Do you think Harris could have got him out?
No.
I think it's a silly question. It's a what? I think it's a silly question. Wait. You agree?
Because the answer's so obvious, or what?
It's a silly question. That's why they're clapping. They're clapping because they right here.
I think the most important point is just realizing who did it, not hypothetically or anything. I'm saying it's like, here's what happened, and there are actual members of my party that have refused to even acknowledge that this was significant. And that's for me where it's like, hey, our politics might be different, but this was a significant development.
Okay.
And now also it's what Israel was able to accomplish. They had to neutralize Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and Iran. And also another thing, the Iranian nuclear facilities. I mean, I was the only Democrat that supported you.
That's interesting. This guy, he sounds more like Trump than he does Schumer or Pelosi or any of the rest of I really do. I mean, it's very interesting. Hey, there's another story out there. They had a town hall. Tom Homan was there yesterday. I have not seen him out talking to many people or reacting at all about much lately. This I thought was kind of interesting. He responded for the first time. There's this big slur out there. They smeared him, trying to say he was, I don't know, that he was involved in taking some sort of bribe. Tom Homan, one of the most vocal and the most effective of the Trump administration. Which is, like I said, kind of interesting. Here he is in his own words about what happened.
I know George Stephanopoulos is one of your best friends. Mm-hmm. He convicted you on television, okay, of a $50,000 bribe. Stephanopoulos did this on ABC. The vice president, J.D. Vance, defended you. And I thought he did so pretty well, because due process is important. Do you want to clarify anything about that situation?
I didn't take $50,000 from anybody.
Okay. How did that get into the mainstream, do you think?
I have no idea. Look, there's been hit pieces on me since I came back to this administration. Yeah. There's got to be 30, 40 hit pieces on me about how I'm involved with contracts and government contracts, when in fact, day one I came back, I recused myself from any discussions on any contract or any monetary decisions like that, because I used to have a company that did consulting. So I cleared myself day one. What people don't talk about is I took a significant, huge pay cut to come back and serve my nation. And I'm not enriching myself doing this job.
So they want to see Tom Homan under fire. But the truth is, what is coming, like I said, what people really want to see, and I think this confirms it, is more deep state indictments coming. Just like Special Prosecutor Smith.
Beyond those who are already charged, do you think you've seen other crimes that might eventually get referred to justice?
Yes, we are looking at so many different leads on criminal activity by those who are in positions of power. And we're not going to stop until every single one of those is fully exposed, The documents are provided either to Congress or the courts of law and make every referral we can to the Department of Justice. These indictments that you've seen and the ones that you're going to see coming up here in this near future are just the beginning. But I have to remind the audience one thing. Everybody's like, it's 7 months. What have you guys been doing?
Yeah.
Well, they spent 20 years building this disease temple of corruption. It takes a little bit of time to defeat it and beat it down. And I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to look at the work the men and women of the FBI have done so far in these 7-8 months and just imagine what we're going to do come the year end.
Beyond those.
More indictments on the way. That's what Kash Patel says. We'll see. Again, trust but verify when that happens. That's kind of how I have to take everything now. Trust but verify. Thank you for sharing, by the way, verifying that you're sharing this show today. We appreciate it. Need the help getting the word out. Facebook is censoring us at every level now, so when you do share, it helps us keep the foot on the gas, so to speak. Have you seen this? It's a brand new documentary out. It's called An Inconvenient Study. You can find it at inconvenientstudy.com, and I'll put this up in the links today in the stack at justinbarclay.com.
Children struggling every day with ADHD?
Scott's allergies made it hard to keep up with his friends.
Allergic reactions from accidental food exposure.
Moderate to severe eczema.
Plaque psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis,
Food allergies.
Allergies.
Seizure.
Asthma.
Eczema.
IBS.
Lupus.
We are now the sickest country in the world.
The health of American children is in crisis.
A huge rise in chronic conditions in kids 17 and under.
More than 40% of American children now have at least one chronic health condition.
Autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile diabetes, lupus, Crohn's disease, all this IBS.
I had eczema, asthma, all allergies, stomach issues.
This is to me the one that gets me. Just a few decades ago, 1 in 10,000 children had autism. Today it's 1 in 31.
ADD, ADHD, speech-delayed language like tics, Tourette's syndrome, narcolepsy, sleep disorders, ASD, autism.
But there's nowhere in the world that these kind of rapid increases in the incidence of disease.
Now, it's 2 hours long, folks, but you know me. Like I said, I will post this link so that you can watch the whole thing. I encourage you to watch it. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I will tell you, I think the folks that are involved in this documentary, the folks that you're seeing, obviously, in the documentary, the truth is coming out more and more every day. You're learning about it. You're seeing it. You're hearing it here. This is what they don't want you to see. By the way, when we talk about we're throttled, et cetera, this is it. Maha, making America healthy again, starts with you. It starts with me. By the way, we're going to have a conversation about this and go a little bit more in depth coming up this week with Maha Missy. And yes, she's been talking about these things for years. In fact, she's the Maha mom who she fought autism and won with her son. Her story is incredible. If you haven't heard it yet, go back and watch. But she also happens to be the Missy behind My Pure Health Solutions. And I'm jumping back in for another round. I've got a big goal that I want to attain, and I'd love for you to join me. My Pure Health Solutions. Go to healthwithjustin.com and jump in on the team. We're going to get healthy together, and we're going to take this country back one body at a time. And I'm telling you the things that you're going to discover, the things that you'll see. I mean, I'm only a couple of days in, and I feel better. I just can't. It's hard to describe to you how well I feel. And it's just little changes that can make a big difference. In fact, if you've seen it before the first time around, I dropped 40 pounds in 40 days. You can see the massive difference that it makes. And of course, as I continue down on my journey, and I've got a big goal in mind, and I love that you with me. You can see that, I'm not the only one. So many others that have jumped in are seeing the results and the progress too. Not only feel better, they look better, but they're more effective. So you can stay in the fight and you can help us win. Folks, we need you now more than ever. Go to healthwithjustin.com. That's healthwithjustin.com. and find out how you can take your life back. It's just that important. I'm telling you, there's nothing you can do. Speaking of important, by the way, I don't know if you saw this. The truth is coming out here as well. She was asked about it, and boy, she didn't like it one bit. Nancy Pelosi asked about it yesterday. Are you afraid that you're going to be held accountable for January 6th?
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
I don't know who that is, who that lady is, but hats off to her. Kudos to her. Do you know who this reporter is? What a fantastic question. And she turns around and has no choice.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Wow.
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Oh.
Congresswoman Pelosi.
I absolutely love that. It's probably the best thing that I'll see today. One of my most favorite things, and maybe you'll say, but Pelosi not happy and also not used to being questioned. Look at her. How many bottles in do you think she is? Look, I don't want to get into all that, but you know, it's just, you gotta wonder. You gotta wonder, how many deep is she? I love that they're being able to ask these. I love that people are getting it because she's on. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But we know for a fact. You know why? Because we have the receipts. We know exactly what happened. We have the other people involved in it, and there's got to be a new January 6th committee. This is coming, folks. It is the find out era, and I'm telling you, there is no hiding. The find out era is upon us. You fooled around. Now it's time to find out. And I love it. I love it, by the way. Fantastic. By the way, got to make a winner today. If you helped share the Facebook post, we appreciate it. Trying to break their algorithm, get us back into the flow and into the feeds of folks. Yeah, I saw this earlier. Somebody said, I have to come here looking for you every day, and I don't doubt it. Mark Zuckerberg and the rest, I don't know what they say they fix things, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Hey, congratulations. One of our good friends, Jason, our winner for sharing the podcast, the broadcast today, the stream. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you being here with us. There it is. Always a pleasure. Jason, do me a favor. Send me a quick email, justin@justinbarclay.com. I'm going to give you something cool from the store. By the way, folks, lots of great things inside the store right now when you go to justinbarclay.com. 10% off for your first order, justinbarclay.com. But do it today. Don't wait. Help support the program. We appreciate you doing so. Your way. That's preparewithjustin.com.